Have you ever done something kind just so others would notice? Did you find that the moment they thanked you, the joy of the act seemed to vanish? Sometimes, when we hunt for honor, we lose the very thing that makes us honorable. We treat our virtues like currency, spending them to buy a moment of applause, only to find our pockets empty when the crowd goes home. We become performers of goodness rather than practitioners of it, and in that performance, the soul grows thin. I want to share a story with you that completely changed the way I look at respect and character. It is a tale of a young man who thought he was building a reputation, but was actually building a hollow shell. Once, in a small village nestled between two mirrors of water, lived a young man named Kael. Kael was talented and strong, but he was hungry for something food could not provide. He wanted the village to see him as a hero. Every morning, Kael would look for a way to be seen. He would carry heavy water jars for the elderly, but only when the market was full and eyes were on him. He would give coins to the poor, making sure the metal clinked loudly against the stone to attract attention. He would stand in the center of the square every evening and recount his selfless deeds of the day. The villagers would nod, clap and say, "Kael is a good man." They smiled, and Kael would glow with a sense of importance. He felt successful before he had even finished his day. That night, he would sleep well, fueled by their praise. But the glow never lasted. As soon as the sun set and the people went home, Kael felt empty and tired. The energy was gone. He needed more praise the next day just to feel the same level of worth. His life was a constant race to stay in the spotlight, and his heart grew heavy with the effort of being watched. He couldn't understand why. Despite all the applause, he felt stuck. One day, a famous elder traveler arrived in the village. He was known for his wisdom, yet he traveled without a servant or a banner. He was quiet and humble, and people respected him even though he never spoke much. Kael rushed to meet him, eager to show off. He spent the entire afternoon telling the elder about his charity, his plans for the village, and his strength. The elder listened in silence, nodding slowly. Finally, he said, "My son, you look troubled despite your many stories." Kael sighed and admitted he felt empty inside. The elder smiled softly and said, "Meet me at the peak of the silent hill at dawn. I want to show you where true respect lives." The next morning, they climbed the steep path. At the top, the sun began to rise, painting the sky in gold. The elder pointed to a magnificent oak tree standing alone on the ridge. "Look at this tree," the elder said. "Does it scream to the valley that it provides shade? Does it demand the birds thank it for their nests? Of course not." Kael laughed. "It's just a tree. It grows in silence." The elder then reached into his bag and pulled out a small polished mirror. He held it up so it caught the sun, blinding Kael for a moment. "When you do good only to be seen, you are like this mirror," the elder spoke gently. "You have no light of your own. You only reflect the gaze of others. If they turn away, you become dark and cold." He then pointed back to the tree. "The tree has its own life. It grows deep roots in the dark soil where no one can see. Because it doesn't spend its energy shouting, it has the strength to endure the storm and become strong." Kael took a step back, looking from the mirror to the ancient tree. "But master," he whispered, "the tree is just wood and leaves. I am a man who wants to be remembered. Is it not a waste to be great if no one ever witnesses it?" The elder didn't blink. "The stars shine in the deepest parts of the ocean where no human eye can reach," he replied. "Are they any less brilliant because they are not applauded?" Kael looked at his hands, feeling his face grow warm. "But if I don't tell them, how will they know I am a good man? I want them to be proud of me." The elder placed a hand on Kael's shoulder and shared these truths. Respect is a shadow. If you chase it, it runs away. If you walk toward your purpose, it follows you. Praise is a trap. When you share your virtue too early, you feel as if you already did the work. Silence is protection. Dreams and goodness are fragile at the beginning. They need to stay hidden under the earth to grow. When you share your goodness too early, the elder warned, your mind thinks the goal is already achieved. The praise becomes enough, and you lose the fire to keep going. The energy you need for real action gets wasted in empty words. Kael returned to the village and made a decision. He would try something new. He would tell no one. He began to do things in the dark soil of his life. He began to fix broken fences at night so the farmers would wake up to a surprise. He left food on doorsteps and walked away before the door opened, ensuring no one saw his face. When people in the market spoke of a mysterious helper, Kael stayed quiet and continued his work. At first, it was hard. He missed the immediate rush of pride and the applause. But slowly, a new feeling took root, a quiet, steady weight in his chest. It was a sense of real pride that didn't depend on a single person's opinion. Because no one knew, he had no pressure and no expectations. He only had his hands and his effort. Years passed. Kael became known as a man of great character and a skilled craftsman. He was the most respected man in the village, not because he announced his plans, but because he only showed his work when it was finished. People respected him even more because his actions spoke louder than his words ever could. He had found something deeper, the quiet satisfaction of building something real. Now, think about your own life. How many times have you performed a good deed only to feel a twinge of disappointment because no one was there to witness it? How many times has your sense of worth depended entirely on the reflection in someone else's eyes? When you chase respect, you hand over the keys to your happiness to the crowd. You become a slave to their applause and a victim of their silence. Respect is a shadow. If you run toward it, it stays out of reach. If you walk your path with integrity, it follows you without effort. True honor does not need a microphone. It has a gravity of its own. Your character is built in those moments when you are certain no one is watching. The most profound respect is not something you receive from others. It is something you possess within yourself. When you stop begging for the world to notice your light, you finally become a sun that shines by its own power. True honor is a quiet conversation between you and your conscience. It is the secret joy of knowing you did the right thing, even if the world thinks you did nothing at all. Stop chasing the shadow of respect. Build the heavy, silent substance of character, and you will find that the world bows not to your words, but to the person you have become in the dark. If this story resonated with you, stay with us for more journeys into wisdom and character. Please leave a like to support our work and drop a comment below. Have you ever experienced the power of silent goodness? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for being part of our community.